Hello students, welcome to the video of 7th General Science. Today we are going to start chapter number 9, Heat. We know that heat is present everywhere and we can perform different types of work with the help of heat. Let's understand with the help of some example. Look at the ice cube which is put outside the freeze. You can observe that after some time the shape of the ice reduce because of the heat. The heat changes ice into water and the ice start to melt. Let's take second example. If we put the cold water in a pot and allow it to boil on the gas flame, then after some time it start to boil. Means the heat started the movement of the water molecule. Or you can also observe that in winter season the people sit around the bonfire to get the heat. So with the help of this example we can say that heat is very essential for the human being to perform the different types of work. You know that sun is also the source of heat, means it provides the heat to the world, and with the help of this heat we can perform different types of work. We can produce electricity. Some animals increase their temperature with the help of the heat of the sun, or we can also dry clothes, grains and other objects also. So heat is very essential to perform the different types of work. We know that bulb is also gives us light as well as heat, means it produces light and heat. So these are the examples which shows that heat is present everywhere. Now in the previous example, we saw that when we put the water in the pot, it start to boil after some time. So what may be the reason? Or the example we saw that when we sit around the bonfire, we get the heat from the distance. Now, why it happens? Why this heat is getting to the us or getting to the water? Let's see the reason behind it. This is called the transfer of heat, means when the heat we given to the pot, it transfers to the water and it start to boil. Or when we sit around the bonfire, the heat from the bonfire get towards us. You may also observe that the cooking spoons is the handle of that cooking spoon is covered with the plastic, because when we put that spoon in the pot with a boiling curry or something item, then that heat transfer to the spoon and may burn our hand. So to protect it, it is covered with the plastic or bad conductors of heat. So the heat transfer from one substance to the another substance, that we call the transfer of heat. It may transfer from gas to the water or from the water to the spoon also. That's why we use the cloth to lift up the pot from the gas flame. So why is the reason that heat transfer from one place to another place? Means when we give heat to the pot, then that heat transfer to the water, and from that water it's start to travel in the spoon also. Means what is the reason? It is the vibrations made by the particles of the object. So there are some modes of transfer of heat, means the heat transfer from one place to another place, and when this happens there are some modes of transfer of heat. Now let's see about the modes of transfer of heat. There are three modes, means there are three ways that the heat transfer from one place to another place. First is the conduction, second is the convection, and third is the radiation. Now let's see about the conduction. To understand the conduction, let's see the experiment which we can perform easily. For that we require some metal rods, wax, pins and the burner and the tripod. So construct the instruments like this and start to heat the metal strips or metal rods with the help of burner, and after that you can see that the pins which are fixed in a wax start to fall. Or we can also arrange this experiment in different manner. Take a rod and fix it on the stand shown in the picture and stick some wax balls on the one end of the rod one after another and put some pins in the wax and start to heat the rod with the help of burner. As we start to heat the burner, the heat start to flow through the metal rod, and when this heat passes through the metal rod, the temperature of the rod start to increases, and due to that wax at the certain distance from the burner start to melt and fall down. It is because the heat transfer from the metal rod from one end to another end. Now, why this happens? As we start to hit the metal rod, the particles of the metal rod start to vibrate at their own place. They do not leave their place but start to vibrate at their own place. And these vibrations of the particle pass the heat from one place to another place. And this type of heat transfer is called conduction. Next mode of transfer of heat is convection. To understand convection, let's see the experiment. For that we need flask, water, tripod, mesh, burner, stand and some potassium permanganate. Wait till the water become still and pour some potassium permanganate with the help of straw at the bottom of the flask and start to heat the flask at the bottom, not on the side or not at the upward, at the bottom with the help of burner. Now after some time you will notice that the particles of the potassium permanganate start to spread the pink color through the water, and look at the pattern of the color. It goes upward and then come downwards, means this produces the convection current. This color is spreading in this pattern because of the production of the convection current in the water. And when the heat transfer in the particles by producing the convection current, that is called the convection of the heat. The water at the bottom of the flask start to heat and then it moves upward, and the water at the upper side, it is at low temperature and hence it start to move downward in from the side, and due to this movement of the particles, the convection current produces. Like the conduction, there is a no vibrations in the particles. In conduction, particles do not leave their place, but in convection the particles leave their place, and this type of convection is found in liquid and gases. Now next mode of heat transfer is the radiation. Now this radiation does not need any medium. Now consider you are sitting by the bonfire and obviously you will feel the heat. Now why you feel the heat when you sit nearby the bonfire? You will say that maybe it is because of the convection, but the convection current is upward and downward, not side by side. And as there is no metal between the bonfire and you, and so that's why there is no conduction also. So as there is no conduction and no convection, there is a third mode of heat transfer, that is called the radiation. Means this bonfire radiates the heat in all possible direction and we will get it. This is the radiation. Now let's take second example. We know that sun radiates heat towards the earth and we get this heat on the earth's surface. We know that there is no medium between the earth and the sun. There is a vacuum till we get the heat of the sun on the earth's surface because of the radiation. Means radiation does not need any medium. Conduction needs solid or metal substances. Convection needs liquid or gases, and radiation needs no medium to flow from one place to another place.